And we are live. Welcome to Verbal Online. You got me, Noel, hanging out with Jay Smith, ready to do a live broadcast.
Hey, what's up, everyone? If you're watching or if you tune in later, please make sure, guys, to subscribe, share, and like our content. We really appreciate that.
Bet. So, this is something that we're going to try to do on a regular basis, going live and just inviting people to come in and talk with us and join in and become Verbal on Life.
Exactly, guys. This is Verbal on Life, and it's about expressing your opinion. What are your thoughts about whatever topic we're discussing? So whatever we're talking about here, we would love you to share your opinion with us.
All right, because we're moving away from the age of just watching the news and listening and not being able to talk back or say a response to whatever they're telling you on the news. So this is a good opportunity. Let's take advantage. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is talk about different topics. For today's taping, there was a shooting that happened in Fort Worth, Texas. Am I saying it right? Fort Worth,
Yeah,
Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas.
And here, let me see if I could put the clip. Let's watch a little bit of the clip and then we'll discuss. All right, check it out.
They are both behind bars after shooting and killing a Sonic employee in Keene, Texas, about 30 minutes south of Fort Worth. Police say the adult suspect, Angel Gomez, started urinating in the parking lot. That's when worker 32-year-old Matthew Davis confronted him. This led to a fight. At this point, Gomez's 12-year-old passenger fires a rifle from the car, striking Davis 6 times. Davis was flown to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. The suspects fled the scene, but Gomez later returned and was subsequently taken into custody. Officers then located the 12-year-old boy in Rio Vista and arrested him. Both suspects were charged with murder.
Another shooting.
That's
And tell me now there's another shooting, and I don't know how many shootings there have been in Texas this month alone. So what are we gonna do about it to change the situation? Let me guess. Thoughts and prayers?
this is what I'm gonna say though, that we need, number one, we need the Second Amendment. We need guns for our protection. And it's really a mental health crisis. Like, why is a 12-year-old boy with a handgun? You know what I mean? We don't let 12-year-old boys drive. We don't let them drink liquor. Why is that boy with a gun? What's
Well, how was he able to access that gun? Taking into account that there have been so many shootings by minors, then maybe it's easy for minors to access guns.
I mean, and by the way, I want to give a shout out to La Negra 20. Este programa es más caliente que el de la 12.
Ay, 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 ey, la negra 20 está fría con nosotros, tú viste, está bien fría. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Y gracias por expresarte. Y eso es lo que queremos. Que venga gente. That's what we want, people to come and express themselves. But, I don't know, but I don't think it's that easy to get a gun. Because I grew up in America. I'm sorry. And I don't remember being able to purchase a gun that easy. You know what I mean? Like, I really had to talk to my man and my man's man. And what's your take on that?
Getting a gun is a lot easier than you think. Okay, it might be hard for you because you never been a criminal. So you're not about that life, teacher. That's why for you it's not that easy. For people who are about that life, getting a gun is this easy.
Uh, so, you know what? And that man and that boy that got arrested, I'm pretty sure that man was teaching that boy how to hold the gun, how to shoot, and facilitated the gun to that young boy. You know what I mean? At this point, I just hope he doesn't get charged as an adult because he got his whole life ahead of him. 12 is pretty young. You gotta say it is pretty young. And if unfortunately they charge him as an adult, it's kind of sad. But a man died too. That's another sad part to this conversation. So
So, can you hear me?
yeah,
Okay, so since we have La Negra 20 aquí en el canal con nosotros, si nos estás escuchando, quisiera saber, señorita La Negra 20, ¿qué usted cree de el tema de violencia con armas de fuego en los Estados Unidos? ¿Crees que se está haciendo lo suficiente para que esa clase de violencia se detenga o no se está haciendo nada? So, déjanos saber qué crees. So Noel, listen, all I'm seeing from Republicans is thoughts and prayers over and over and over. When is it that y'all going to realize that thoughts and prayers are not cutting it? Thoughts and prayers are not going to stop gun violence. What's the point?
in my opinion, it's an everybody effort, meaning the government, the community, the people out there. We all got to pitch in.
You're 100% right. But what I'm saying is, what solution are we getting with thoughts and prayers? What are we really getting out of that? Because I see a lot of Republicans sending out their thoughts and prayers after people have been murdered. And, you know, if I have a family member murdered by a gun, I don't want to hear about no thoughts and prayers. I want to hear what you're going to do so that these people stop getting killed with guns.
So, what's it called? Thoughts and prayers. It's only what happens after the fact, after something bad has happened. You know what I mean? We want to hear what can we do before it gets to that point.
Okay, but my point is, there was a mass shooting in Australia, and after that mass shooting, they banned guns because of it. And since they banned guns over 20 years ago, there hasn't been a single mass shooting. So in other words, people died and they took action right away and stopped it from happening. Why the hell is y'all talking about thoughts and prayers like that's going to stop anything or change anything?
So it sounds like you're getting very emotional, which is easy.
I am.
Whenever you talk about death and people getting killed, it's easy to get emotional. But at some point, you got to point out what's realistic on the world, which is there are more guns than people in this country, number one. Number two, there's too many government conspiracy to have them get rid of guns. They're not going to get rid of guns because nobody trusts the government. The government is a bunch of liars.
Wait a minute. So Australia was able to pull it off, but USA can't. That's what you're saying.
Yup.
Okay, so you do realize that in every known country in this planet, there are a bunch of people that don't trust the government. You do realize that, right? It's not only in the US.
Yeah.
Every country has people that don't trust the government. Yet Australia was still able to ban guns and be successful. They have been successful. So where are we messing up that these incidents keep happening? Y'all keep sending y'all thoughts and prayers every time they're happening. Don't change anything, and they keep happening. What's your suggestion? What do you think needs to happen for the gun violence to stop?
Right. So in terms of naming another country, hey, move to that other country because two different countries, and we need to be aware of that. My only solution that I can think of is more awareness and more restrictions as to who has access to guns. You know what I mean? That boy should have not had access to a gun. Wouldn't you agree that boy should have not had access from that adult? Because I'm sure if you're riding in a car with an adult, that adult probably made it easy for you to get a gun. So before you answer that, let me share a comment from La Negra. You want to read that? Wait. I can't hear you, Jay.
La Negra 20 nos dice, para mí no está haciendo el trabajo suficiente porque ahora mismo cualquier persona puede portar un arma de fuego, en cambio hasta un niño. So, ¿ves lo que dije? Yo encuentro que ni en Estados Unidos ni en República Dominicana. Entonces, lo estamos viendo. La gente que está en la calle, está viendo lo que está sucediendo, que está viendo la noticia, entiende que no se está haciendo lo suficiente para detener estas situaciones. If you're not doing enough, they're just going to keep happening.
So at the end of the day, definitely something needs to happen, and it's not going to be there's no one good answer. There's no one answer because it's a group think. A group of people got to get together and develop a solution as a group,
So,
right?
So in other words, what you're saying is that there is no solution. Let's just keep talking and figuring something out while people keep getting murdered. No action. Let's just talk and figure something out. Meanwhile, people will keep getting mass murdered. Look at the difference between your train of thought and Australia's. Australia's is like, yo, people die. We can't have that. Let's get rid of them guns. They got rid of them. They did what was necessary to make the changes that they wanted. You're talking about, well, we need to figure it out. We need to talk. Guns are so important to you that you will try to figure out anything except get rid of the guns. So those guns are a lot more important than all the innocent people that get killed every day. And at the same time, y'all are pro-life. Beautiful.
Right. So again, that's your point of view, because at the end of the day, it's a much larger question. Now, I want to ask the viewers later on. If you right now live, we only got 2 people, but if you're watching this video, write down in the comment section what's your take on this whole debate. Because at the end of the day, it's like people. How do you deal with crime? How do you deal with people murdering other people? We got to get rid of people? No, it happens. It's a crime. Your audio.
Ok, entiendo ese punto de vista, pero al final del día, cuando las cosas suceden, tenemos que tomar acción. Y no se está tomando ninguna acción. Solamente está diciendo, vamos a orar por los que murieron, que descansen en paz. Ay, nos sentimos mal. Bueno, eso no cambia nada. La gente va a seguir muriendo, van a seguir asesinando y van a seguir usando armas de fuego para cometer estos crímenes. Entonces, ¿en qué momento decimos, bueno, la arma de fuego es el problema?
Lo mismo podemos decir de la gente, que la gente anda matando a otra gente. Hay criminales en la vida, hay gente que matan, hay gente que hay que meterlos presos porque no están sanos mentalmente. Esto es un problema mental y ya. Así que vamos a resolver ese problemita y es para adelante que vamos.
Déjame hacerte una pregunta. Y es una pregunta muy simple. Si las personas no tuvieran acceso a una pistola, ¿verdad? Porque no hay pistola en el país. ¿Tú crees que un niño puede ir a su escuela con un bate y matar a 50 gente a batazo?
Yo con una piedra, entrarle a
un niño puede matar a 20 gente con piedra, palo, cuchillo. No, tal vez le puede dar golpe a una gente antes de que lo agarren y hagan lo que tengan que hacer. Pero con una pistola, ese mismo niño puede llegar a un lugar y matar 10, 20, 30 gente, como ya lo hemos visto. Entonces, la pistola da más facilidad para matar a gente, eso es obvio. Y 2, que es muy importante, cuando una persona tiene una pistola en la mano, eso cambia su agresión. Una persona que normalmente no se atrevería a enfrentar a alguien con una pistola en la mano, está dispuesto a enfrentar a muchas personas. Entonces esa pistola cambia la psicología de la gente y hace que hagan cosas que normalmente no harían.
También yo voy a decir que a la misma vez tú conoces escuelas que tienen niños que son 6'5", 6'2", más grandes que un hombre y pueden hacerle, le han dado a los maestros. Yo he visto videos de que un niño le entró a trompar a un maestro que le quitó el teléfono.
Bueno, tú sabes, pero tú estás comparando un niño que le cayó a trompar a un maestro con un niño que entró a la escuela y masacró a 20 gente. Son 20 funerales, 20 gente muerta, 20 cementerios, 20 familias destrozadas. Yo creo que es un poquito lejos de un niño que le dio un par de trompas a un profesor. Ese profesor va a estar bien después de eso.
Bueno, nada más voy a decir, la negra escribió, pero eso es el problema, que las personas se hacen pasar por loco y lo dejan en libertad. Es el
por eso, porque mira qué pasa, porque negra, mira lo que pasa. Ya la gente conoce a personas como este caballero que está aquí al lado de mí, el profesor, que dicen, ay, no, es porque están locos. Entonces dicen, ah, pues yo puedo matar y hacerme que estoy loco y está todo bien. Pero no se dan cuenta que muchísima gente que no está loco, que no tiene problema mental, sale a matar gente también porque tienen una pistola y no pueden hacer. Ellos quieren culpar a todo el mundo, menos la pistola, porque la pistola de ellos son más importantes que la vida de todo el mundo que ha muerto y que va a seguir muriendo.
Bueno, es un buen argumento que tú tienes. You have a good argument against guns. But like I said, just like you have a good argument against guns, there's other people that talk about, oh, there's a guy online that talked about that he had a gun and there was a mass shooter. And thankfully, because he had a gun, he was able to grab it and take the guy down. You know what I mean? So there's some good people out there that know how to use it. Audio.
You're not thinking about this. What if the mass shooter and the hero, what if neither of them had a gun? You see, you don't want to take that into consideration. You don't even, because the gun is so important to you. The Second Amendment is so important to you that you don't care about the possibility of what if nobody has it.
Let's not pretend. If guns were outlawed, they're not disappearing. You know that, right? You would agree with me on that, right? They're not disappearing. If guns were outlawed, what do you think? Audio.
So how did they disappear from Australia?
I don't think so. I got to do the research. I'm going to do some more research about that because I don't know. That's a whole other country. But in America, I don't see guns disappearing. That's all I'm saying. Do you see in America disappearing?
So, I mean, how they going to disappear? Y'all love for guns. Y'all love guns more than life itself. How they going to disappear?
So then, if they're not going to disappear, what should we do? Get rid of them good people? Should get rid of the guns? That's it?
No. Y'all should find a way. The real mental health issues is that got so much love for them guns that y'all will fight for guns more than you will fight for lives. So the real mental health is
Like I said, if we get rid of guns, I could bet for sure that all the good citizens, they will go turn it in. You know, when police like round up guns and people take it to them. Yeah, sure. But there's bad people. You can't lie. You can't say there's no bad people.
Oh, okay. So I understand. So in Australia, there were no bad people, right? That's what we're saying here?
I'm saying I don't know the study of Australia. I know Australia's hot as hell and there's a bunch of kangaroos everywhere, but I don't know how they deal with things. You know, I don't know that country's norms.
Well, look, I don't need to do any research. I can pretty much guarantee you when Australia banned guns, there were a bunch of criminals who had guns. There were people in jail and there were people doing drugs and doing bad things, just like everywhere in the world. The only difference is Australia found a solution by taking action. You want to find a solution by thinking, talking, analyzing, and doing everything that is not going to stop what's happening, which is people dying by gun violence.
Dice la negra, eso no puede ser así porque hay familias que sufren.
Exactamente lo que te estoy tratando de decir. Mientras tú te quieres tomar tu tiempo planificándote, mucha gente está muriendo. Míralo ahí, yo estoy con Jay Smith ahora. Las armas de fuego están facilitadas para cometer un crimen.
Y para defenderse, que venga Jay Smith, que me vaya encima a Jay Smith. Yo le tengo una pistola, loco, yo me voy a defender.
Pero mira, ahí es donde está el problema. Yo tal vez me acerco a ti y que para darte una galleta y tú me das un tiro y me matas. Dije, ay, me defendí. ¿Cuánta gente no asesinan por vaina tan estúpida? Tú no te das cuenta que en los Estados Unidos todos los días muere gente por vaina estúpida. Ahí estaba, él me habló mal, le di un tiro. Él me miró feo, le di un tiro. Tú no estás viendo que es esa arma de fuego que cambia la psicología del hombre. Y quiero decir algo. Yo personalmente he tenido armas de fuego. Y yo sé cómo se siente diferente cuando tú tienes un arma de fuego. Cuando tú tienes un arma de fuego ahí y alguien te habla mal o alguien trata como de inventar, ya automáticamente tú dices, inventa que te voy a explotar. Entonces, esa arma de fuego cambia la psicología del ser humano. Ese es el problema.
le da más fuerza a la persona. Pero para usted defender no necesita un arma de fuego. Ok, está bien. Pero lo que yo digo es que las armas de fuego existen. Y que tú estés peleando con un tigre que tú sepas que en este país no hay pistola. Y tú le vas encima al tigre. Y el tipo te saca una pistola que la tiene escondida entre la raja y la nalga. Ya te pedí ahí. Así que, sé tu argumento. Aquí que escribió la negra. Siempre se puede evitar para no cometer un error que
te pese toda tu vida. Y mira, lo que está diciendo la negra es la realidad, pero tenemos que entender, Noel, tú eres una persona muy calmada, eres una persona profesional, eres una persona muy tranquilo, entonces tú te estás manejando como que todo el mundo es igual que tú, y ese no es el caso. Tú no sales a discoteca, tú no sales a beber, tú no andas en esa clase de jangueo. Entonces tú no conoces esa vida. La mayoría de personas que tienen un arma de fuego no viven la misma vida que tú. La mayoría de personas que tienen un arma de fuego salen a andar, se beben su cerveza, se beben su whisky. Y adivina qué, muchas veces terminan matando a alguien y no tiene que ver absolutamente nada con mental health. Simplemente el tipo se sentía fuerte porque tenía una pistola, tú me hablaste más y te dio un tiro. Ahora tú se lo quieres culpar a mental health porque tú no quieres aceptar que el verdadero problema es el arma de fuego.
Y tú sabes también lo que es difícil de la vida. Tú sabes cuál es el papel del hombre. You know what a man's role in life is?
Dependiendo del punto de vista de quién, podemos decir que el hombre es el proveedor o podemos decir cualquier cosa.
Y el que protege la familia, ¿sí o no?
Okay. Sí.
Si tocan esa puerta, es el hombre que vaya a abrir la puerta y hablar con quien sea. Y es fuerte un hombre entender que tú tienes que proteger tu familia contra todo el mundo, hasta alguien que esté armado. Tú sabes que tú tienes que estar armado también para proteger tu familia, porque hay como se dice, there's bad people que tocan la puerta ajena. Y hay que protegerse. ¿Cómo tú te proteges? Porque tú nomás tienes un cuchillo de queso, de mantequilla en la casa.
Pero ¿por qué no podemos ver la posibilidad de que ni el criminal la tenga ni yo tampoco? ¿Por qué no podemos ni siquiera analizar esa posibilidad? Porque la pistola es tan importante para ustedes que ustedes no quieren analizar nada de eso.
Your point makes sense. I'm sorry, let me go back to English. Your point makes sense. But at the end of the day, I do not trust grown men that don't have family, that they really think that they could go around with a gun threatening and putting fear in people. Because that's what you said, that's what it does. It puts fears on others. And it makes other men brave. You know what I mean? And I would hate for somebody to knock on my door and I'm like, I'm going to have to talk to that guy. Whoever it is, if they have a gun, that's it, they win. Sorry.
Okay. So when you have a fear that makes you feel like you need to be armed. Okay. Now, if you're in a constant state of fear, that's a problem because you may live in that house for 20, 30 years. And guess what? Nobody ever knocks on that door. You want to spend 30 years holding your gun? When somebody knocks, I'm going to be ready. No, tú no puedes vivir tu vida en un constante estado de miedo. No puede.
Yeah, pero y también, you know what I was thinking? Donde yo vivo ahora, donde yo me there's a bunch of houses next to each other. And I wouldn't dare go into any of the houses, not even by mistake. Why? The people that live there may have a weapon. And I'm sorry, for me breaking into somebody's house, even by mistake, that's it. They have the right to defend themselves. So that's scary enough to think. I think that they have a weapon. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let me give you an example. All those states.
Habla.
Oye. All those states that have the stand your ground laws, right? I've seen people get murdered because they simply walk by a house. We're gonna go inside. Not inside the house, inside the front yard to knock on the door and ask for an address in that area that they're looking for, a family member. Yo, dude opens the door. Oh, this black man in my neighborhood. Boom! Blown to smithereens. But hey, he live in Texas. Stand your ground. I didn't know what he was up to. We good. You don't say nothing about that. That has nothing to do with mental health issues. That's
No,
simply somebody using their gun because they felt like they could.
No, I'll just say this much. I'll say this much. You would agree that guns are not for everybody. Don't you agree with that? Guns are not for everybody.
Aquí es donde viene el problema, Noel. You're asking me if guns are not for everybody. The problem with that question is, Noel, there is zero possibility of understanding who isn't apt for a gun. Unless that person has obvious signs, there's no way to know. There's no way to know, Noel. So no matter what you say, estos asesinatos van a seguir sucediendo porque siempre va a haber alguien que va a poder conseguir una pistola y la va a usar de esa manera. Tú no vas a poder detener eso.
What about police officers? Should we get rid of police with guns?
Yeah, that's a different conversation. That we have to analyze it. Maybe police should have it based on, because I know there's places in the world where police don't have guns, where they have sticks. Because also you have to take into account how many police officers don't get trigger happy and kill people that they should not have killed.
They make mistakes. The police make mistakes also.
Entonces tenemos que tomar eso en cuenta. Look, this is what I think.
¿Qué escribió allá la negra?
Ok, la negra nos dice, yo no sé por qué existe personas que solo quiere defender con un arma de fuego. Imagínate la negra 20. Lo que pasa es que la gente son pendejísimos y creen que una pistola es lo único que le va a resolver. Sin embargo, yo tengo 44 años de edad y en mi vida entera yo nunca he necesitado una pistola. Yo nunca he necesitado una pistola, ¿no? Ni un revólver. A mí nunca me han venido a mi casa con una pistola a tocarme mi puerta. A Noel, el profesor, nunca han ido a su casa a tocarle una puerta en sus 40 y pico de años. Nunca ha necesitado una pistola. Sin embargo, eso es todo lo que dice. No, porque pueden venir, porque me van a matar y tengo que estar ready. Y la gente está lamentablemente en un constante estado de pánico, donde siempre creen que algo le va a pasar.
Tío, ¿por qué? Porque cada vez que yo prendo la televisión y veo noticias que entró un loco a una casa y porque estaba armado mató a gente. Mira, Jasmine, tú tienes mucha razón. Y es verdad, tú tienes mucha razón, pero es una pregunta para la comunidad. Por favor, escriban qué ustedes opinan sobre este tema. Muy, muy importante porque gente está muriendo. People are dying. And this is a very important topic to touch on. You know what I mean? And we don't hear enough. What can we do? Jay Smith's solution is getting rid of guns. My solution is help improve mental health. And la negra por fin está conmigo. Exacto.
Una pregunta. Tú dices help improve mental health.
Yes.
¿Y qué va a pasar entonces con todos los asesinatos que no tienen que ver nada con mental health? Siga matando entonces.
No, la ley resuelve a esa gente. La ley es ilegal.
Pero que la ley resuelve a esa gente no significa que ellos no van a matar. Entonces siga matando, pero la ley va a resolver. La ley resuelve ahora mismo. Si tú matas, te meten preso.
Y ya, esa es la ley, te resuelve.
Básicamente, lo que tú estás diciendo no va a traer ningún cambio porque la gente va a seguir matando y la ley que lo meta preso. Pues eso ya está pasando ahora. ¿Qué cambio es ese?
La gente tiene que... tipo, cuando tú matas a una persona, tú tienes problemas mentales. Porque la pistola no está para eso, va a protegerte, no para abusar. You are abusing your law.
Es que no es. Tú tienes que entender algo, ¿verdad? Si yo discuto con alguien en la calle ahora mismo, mi vida entera yo nunca he tenido problemas mentales, y yo discuto con alguien en la calle ahora mismo que me habla feo, me menciona a mi madre, lo que sea, o vamos a decir un tipo que le falte respeto a un familiar mío, en ese momento yo puedo pasar un pique y jalar un arma de fuego y darle un tiro, y tú no puedes defender con, ay no, que son mental health issues. Tú no te puedes agarrar de mental health issues porque muchísimos incidentes suceden que no tiene que ver absolutamente nada de mental health issues. So cuando tú dices, we gotta address the mental health, es así que vamos a resolver. ¿Qué vamos a resolver? ¿Qué? Pues todo el mundo que mata gente está loco, ¿tú crees? ¿De verdad tú crees eso?
No, ¿y por qué él piensa que toda la solución es con una arma?
Ay, mi amor, yo no sé por qué piensa eso. Él no lo puede decir, dínoslo, no es.
Te lo voy a decir por qué. Porque tú y yo, tú lo dijiste ahorita, we never had to use a weapon. We never came to that point. But it's traumatizing to be in a situation where a gun is necessary.
So,
and you don't have a gun.
Mira,
that is traumatizing.
Te quiero contar un cuentito de un pronto para que tú veas dónde está tu mente, porque tú necesitas sanar tu mente. Te voy a mostrar. Un día yo voy bajando por mi casa y choqué con una piedra y no pude, o sea, me dio duro en el pie y por eso yo estaba cojeando, caminando así, ¿verdad? Entonces yo voy caminando a la esquina de mi casa, caminando así por el dolor que tengo. Una señora me vio en la esquina y cuando ella me vio que venía caminando, entró corriendo para su casa, cerró su puerta, puso todos los candados y la vi que como que abrió la persiana para mirarme por la persiana. Yo no dije nada porque imagínate, fui al colmado, compré lo que iba a comprar y me fui, ¿verdad? Después, cuando salgo de nuevo, que ya tenía la ropa de trabajo, mi corbata, mi camisa, ella me vio y me dijo, ¿ese fuiste tú ahorita? Y yo le dije, sí, ese fui yo. Ella me dijo, ay, yo entré corriendo para adentro porque yo creía que eso era un ladrón, que tal vez la policía le dio un palo en un pie y se le escapó a la policía. Yo estaba asustada. ¿Tú sabes por qué ella pensó así, Noel? Porque ella se la pasa viendo a Gutiérrez, viendo la noticia, viendo toda la vaina y constantemente tiene miedo de que le va a pasar algo. Constantemente, todo lo que ella ve, ella cree que es un criminal, que es un ladrón, que la van a matar, que le va a pasar algo. Vive constantemente en miedo. Eso es lo que tú haces. Tú ves noticias y estás constantemente en un estado de pánico creyendo que te va a pasar algo. Va a pasar tu vida entera así. Ya lleva 40 y pico de años, no te ha pasado nada. Tú vas a llegar a los 80 todavía con la pistola esperando que alguien te abra la puerta y nunca te la van a abrir. Y entonces,
bueno, ya tuve, yo tengo problemas mentales y necesito salud mental para poder comprarme una pistola.
Entonces, date cuenta para que tú veas. Tú estás hablando, no, que están matando porque tienen los problemas mentales. Los problemas mentales los tienen ustedes que viven en un estado de pánico.
Bueno, por eso es que no van a salir de la... Ay, mira, no van a salir de la ley. Oh, mira cómo se ve en YouTube. Ahí está, para que la gente se meta. Tenemos 3 watching. So,
y a las 3 personas que nos están viendo, for the 3 people that are watching us right now, we want to thank you very much. Queremos darle las gracias porque hoy es nuestra primera vez compartiendo con una audiencia en vivo. Nunca lo habíamos hecho antes. Estamos aprendiendo de este proceso, pero muchas gracias. Lo apreciamos mucho y esperamos que ustedes disfruten de este contenido.
Yes. So, we're going to do this. Vamos a hacer esto más a menudo. Y son buenas conversaciones de temas que están pasando hoy. That boy that got shot in Texas, 12 años, no debe estar con una pistola. Y es lo que yo pienso. Vamos a leer este último mensaje de la negra. Jay, you want to read it?
Ok. La negra 20 nos dice, Jay Smith, a veces la gente son ignorantes. Yo siempre he dicho que hay que ser precavido, pero este mundo está equivocado, por eso es que está como está. Y estoy 100% de acuerdo contigo. Lamentablemente, no pensamos en vamos a calmar la situación, no tenemos que llegar a un extremo, etcétera. Sino pensamos, bueno, como alguien tiene una pistola, yo también voy a tener una pistola y cuando pase algo, nos vamos a caer a tiro. Lamentablemente, tenemos una mentalidad que simplemente va a mantener que la violencia siga el mismo círculo, se va a seguir repitiendo.
Bueno, hasta que la gente esté más consciente y paren de matar.
Como hicieron en Australia.
Estamos cerca llegando a la Australia. Tú vas a ver.
Okay.
Mira, este video live fue de 30, ya llevamos 33 minutos. So, este solo tema tomó eso. Vamos a grabar otro tema. Let me see. So, do you want to end this broadcast and then we could do another topic? So, like that, we could have 2 videos with 2 separate topics.
Yeah. Oh, no. I have to go to the gym.
Okay. So, I think this was a good first live. Tenemos 149. Please subscribe. Yeah.
So I did want to tell you guys, if you're watching, or if you watch this later on, este show nosotros hablamos de todo. So, hoy estamos hablando de violencia con las armas de fuego, pero también hablamos de música, hablamos de religión, hablamos del tema LGTB, de, tú sabes, los gays, lesbianas, trans, qué piensan de eso, las leyes que los protegen o que no los protegen. So, nosotros hablamos de todo. Cualquier tema que a ustedes les interese, nos pueden escribir. You can write to us if there's a topic that you want to talk about. Y nosotros hablamos de cualquier cosa. Déjenos saber qué ustedes quisieran hablar, que nosotros hablemos.
Okay, so with that, please give us a like, subscribe, and we'll continue making these live videos. All right, so peace out.
Muchas gracias por venir a vernos. Pasen buenas.